evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to University School of Milwaukee and UM Ice Arena, home of the USM Wildcats. Tonight's matchup features USM Wildcats and Lakeshore Lightning. USM and the IAA require good sportsmanship by student athletes, coaches, and spectators at education-based interscholastic events. We request your cooperation by supporting participants and officials in a positive manner. Profane, racial, sexist, and ethnic comments or other
Good evening and a welcome inside E-Line Ice Arena here on the campus of the University School of Milwaukee, where tonight's contest features the Wildcats versus the Lakeshore Lightning here on this Tuesday night, as the Wildcats will win the opening face-off. Cam McGuire with you here tonight, so glad to have you along for the ride. Little double header here this afternoon and tonight as the puck lifted up into the Wildcats bench, 15 into action. The boys varsity hockey team earlier defeating the Fond du Lac Springs Ledgers a score of 4-2. And the boys JV hockey team with 2 victories today over at Osaki Ice Center. Face-off just outside of the Wildcats' blue line. Play will resume behind the Lightning line, now up to the far side boards. The Wildcats out with going for a line change here as Jordan Bonk works her way into the offensive end. Tried to get a shot to go just wide, and we'll go for a change. Wildcats pressuring in the offensive end. Emily Mueller out to the right point to Zoe E-Line. Shot over from the left side, blocked down. That came from Emily Mueller. And the Lightning will work its way back to the neutral zone. Minute 10 seconds gone by here in the opening period. Wildcats have sustained pressure at the left point. Here's Lily Valmont. Down low to the near corner to Molly Gunther. Gunther pushed up against the backboards, and the Lightning will work it out to center. Back to retrieve it for the Wildcats. Zoe E-Line. And the Wildcats will get it deep and go for another line change. Lakeshore trying to work it up quickly. The Wildcats pressuring back in the offensive end. Holding the point was Gauthier. As they look to cycle it down low, instead squeeze its way back to the neutral zone. Schmidt will knock it down at the red line and send it in on deep. And they'll work the forecheck here. Schmidt pinches down from the right point. Gauthier holds at the right. Puck back in the Wildcats' end, skating after it. Emily Sheehan. She's being pestered there. 2-on-1 battle in favor of the Lightning. Sheehan dodges pressure and will work it over to offensive partner and Julia Schmidt. Schmidt will settle it down back behind the goal line. Over to Sheehan. Instead, it's the Lightning pressuring in the offensive end. Sydney Bartlett sends it behind the goal line. 2 Wildcats players there. Mallory DeLuca will come out with the puck. Puck works its way to the near side wall. Shot from the right point. Sticked aside by Stommel. Another shot from the right point from Moeller, and she scores. So after the first shot from Margot Moeller was saved by Stommel, she gets it back and is able to find the back of the cage. Just 2:57 into this contest, 1-0 lead for Lakeshore. Restart at center ice is won by Lakeshore. Featherston, Carey, and Bonk up front for the Wildcats. So pressure it in the far corner. Bonk takes over, leaves it for Featherston. Bonk gets it back. Bonk works her way on the backhand, out to the right point. Valmont, her shot high off the glass, rebound effort. And here come the Lightning, a 2-on-2 rush if they hurry. Lugged through center by Ellie Fisher. Over to the left side to Billsboro. Broken up by the Wildcats, settled down by E-Line. E-Line controlling, near corner, bumps it up to Carey. Below the goal line, sent out of the zone by Valmont. And Lakeshore will settle it down right in front of the Wildcats bench. Cleared all the way back behind the Lightning goal line. The Wildcats in the middle of a change. Out with Diffley, Mueller, and Gunther up front. Coming down from the right point was Julia Schmidt. Schmidt leaving it there for Gunther. Puck reverse to the near side. Wildcats have had the more pressure in the offensive end here as the puck stripped off the stick. A backhand shot from Mueller sent just wide. She's able to scoop it up and corral it. Guides it out to the right point. Now over to the left. Sheehan shot. Off target. Picked up by Diffley. Diffley trying to peel away from pressure. Out to the left point to Sheehan. Sheehan back to Diffley. Diffley over to the far side. Being bothered by Kellner. Diffley dragged to the ground. No penalty call. And it's back out to the neutral zone. Schmidt will send it on in. But an icing call against the Wildcats with 11:56 to go in the opening period. The Lightning on top 1-0 thanks from a goal from the defenseman Margot Moeller. Lightning win the offensive zone draw, but the Wildcats are able to scoop it through center. That was Mallory DeLuca who skates after it with Justine Sizlak. Still battle in the far corner in the offensive end. Lightning able to come up with the puck, however. Quick pass over to the left side. Racing after this one is Billsboro, and it'll be an icing call against the Wildcats. A close one of that, 11:31 to go here in the first period. A 1-0 lead for Lakeshore. Offensive zone face-off here for the Wildcats. Charlotte Featherson will take it. Featherson shoots and a save made by the goaltender, Mara Farrell. Held in the line at the left point as Beatrice Latterman back out to the neutral zone. Nice job by Featherson. Gets it over to number 11, Eileen Carey. Near corner now. Bumped up to the point. That pass came from Jordan Bonk, and back out through center she plays it. Gets across the center ice logo. Here comes Bonk. Tries to split the defender. She does. Skates it into the near corner. Now a pass over to Featherston. That one just wide off the backboards. Schmidt will come down from the right point. Will lay it down low to Eileen Carey. Taken over by the Lightning, but they can't clear. A good job here in the opening 6.5 minutes from the Wildcats in the offensive end. A lot of pressure up front. Here comes number 15, Lane Diffley. Escapes pressure, near corner, walks up the wall. Diffley out to the left point. Shot coming from Sheehan, redirected wide. Gunther skating after the loose puck. Works the cycle down low. Now working it, trying to wrap it on the near post. A second effort chance, a third effort chance, and that one went just wide. Good work there from Diffley and Mueller. And here come the Lightning back the other way, but good back pressure from Emily Mueller. D-line, the quick pass up to Diffley. And now Lakeshore will go offside. 9:47 to go in the first period. A 1-0 lead for the Lightning. The goal coming from Margot Moeller. Face-off just outside of the Wildcats' blue line. They'll work with Justine Sizlak, Mallory DeLuca, and Rachel Gauthier. Face-off won by the Lightning. Schmidt going to pressure the forward. Forces her to dump, and now retrieve back behind the goal line from Lily Valmont. Lightning still working in the offensive end. Valmont looking for the pass. She's bothered by Erickson. And now a 3-on-2 battle directly below us here. Puck squirts free behind the cage. Shot save made by Stommel, swept aside to the far corner. Lugging it through center as Rachel Gauthier gets across the red line. Smart play, will dump it on in as the Wildcats are in the middle of a line change. Sheehan knocks it down at the left point, her wrister. Ricochets wide, won't make its way to target. And Lakeshore on the other end of the center red will dump it on in, and it'll be an icing call against the Lightning with 8:44 to go in the opening frame. A 1-0 lead, the difference right now in favor of Lakeshore. Offensive zone face-off here for the Wildcats. Featherston, Bonk, and Carey. Featherston behind the goal line. Centering feed out of the reach of Bonk. Defensive pair of Latterman and Sheehan out. As the puck squirts free through the high slot, Lakeshore gathers and they'll work it through center. Good back pressure from Jordan Bonk. As it was Lauren McCormick trying to work it in the offensive end. The Lightning finally get it in. And working its way through center was Latterman. But the puck up and out of play. Looks like the face-off will come inside the Wildcats' end, and it will. With 8:10 to go in the first period. Still a 1-0 lead for Lakeshore. Emily Mueller wins the face-off back. Near corner in her own end. Beatrice Latterman out on defense with Emily Sheehan. Sheehan collects the puck. Works it over to number 20, Emily Mueller. As Mueller guides it up to DeLuca across the blue line. And the Wildcats just a bit offside with 7:48 to go in the first period. We'll see a face-off just outside of the Lakeshore line at the far dot as DeLuca, Gauthier, Sizlak out up front. Valmont and Eline out on the blue line. Wildcats working in the offensive end. That's broken out by Lakeshore. And it'll be a 1-on-2 rush. Long range shot, sticked aside by Stommel. Valmont, great pass over to the right side to Rachel Gauthier, who gets across the red line. And she'll bank it off the kick plate. Wildcats will change their forward unit as Gauthier comes to the bench. Valmont will play it into the far corner, didn't gain the red line, and it'll be an icing call against the Wildcats. With just over 7 minutes to go in the opening period, Lakeshore still leading 1-0. Featherston will take the face-off, wins it back to the near corner. Eileen Sheehan works it up the wall. Played back for Featherston. Featherston using her speed through center. Gets across the blue line. Wrist shot sent wide. Sheehan keeps it alive at the left point. There's Featherston. She draws the penalty. Delayed penalty call. Right point. Schmidt's wrister blocked down. Won't make its way to the cage. Arriving on the scene is Lane Diffley. And Lakeshore will finally touch up. It'll be a slashing call against the Lightning. So the Wildcats will head on the first power play of the evening with 6:21 to go in the first period. A 1-0 lead for the Lightning. The Wildcats will look to capitalize on the man advantage and notch the score at 1 apiece. Diffley will take the face-off for the Wildcats. It's won by Lakeshore. And back out their center. Lakeshore controlling in the offensive end. Short-handed here. The slashing call assessed to number 10, Sydney Bartlett. Here goes Diffley. Gets across the blue line. Drops it back for Emily Mueller. Mueller at the top of the point. Back over to Diffley. Diffley shot. Pinballed wide off the skate of the forward in front, Jillian Billsborough. As the puck will work its way to the near side wall, and Lakeshore will get a clear. 1:14 left in the power play for the Wildcats. 5:32 to go in the opening period. Emily Mueller. Pass up to the right side to Molly Gunther. Over to Lane Diffley. Diffley drops it back for Bonk. Bonk walks the line. Back over to the left side to Diffley. Diffley curls up the near side boards, drops it back for Featherston. Featherston to Bonk. Bonk works her way to the middle. Over to Sheehan. Sheehan's wrist shot didn't make its way to the cage. It was blocked down. Gathered up by Valmont in the far corner. 36 seconds left on the power play. Jordan Bonk's wrist shot blocked down. Sheehan the second effort, and it dribbled just wide, just off the near side post. Bonk gets it back at the line. Over to the left side to Carey. Carey. Over to Featherston. Over to Bonk. Now back to Sheehan. Sheehan to Featherston. Wrist shot. Smothered in front. The rebound chance. And they score. Looks like it was Lily Valmont who slammed home the loose change. And it's a power play goal for the Wildcats, who tied things up at 1 apiece with 4:32 left in the first period. So Lily Valmont will get the power play goal. Restart at center ice. Won by the Lightning. The Wildcats 1 for 1 on the power play this evening. Back to retrieve it is Latterman. Off the skate of Emily Mueller. And Mueller gets across her own blue line. Now a 2-on-1 developing. As Diffley played it over to Gunther, broken up by the Lightning, and back out through center. So it's Valmont from Featherston and Sheehan on the power play. 3:30 to go here in the opening period, all tied at 1. Turnover forced by Rachel Gauthier. Gauthier to the high slot, gets it back, turnaround shot, she scores! Just like that, the Wildcats have taken a 2-1 advantage. As we watch the replay, Rachel Gauthier, her first effort didn't go, then she got the second one, a turnaround shot, and it beats the goaltender, Farrell, on the high side. 2-1 lead now for the Wildcats. Face-off at center ice, won by Featherston, back to Julia Schmidt. Schmidt's pass, turned over, backhand shot from Billsborough, left leg save from Stommel. And she's able to hold on for a face-off. Face-off from Featherston. Shot from Lakeshore, blocked down by Featherston. Exactly 3 minutes left here in the first period. A 2-1 lead for the Wildcats. Goals from Lily Valmont and Rachel Gauthier. Valmont's a 5-on-4 power play goal. Gauthier's an even strength goal. Featherston will wind up behind her own cage, out of her own end, as her pocket picked by Billsborough. Billsborough's wrist shot off the glove of Stommel and into the back of the net. They were all tied at 2 with 2:37 to go in the first period. That was Jillian Billsborough who forced the turnover at the left circle. And over the glove. Restart at center ice, won by the Wildcats. Emily Mueller through center. Diffley now will try to sweep it into the near corner. Intercepted by number 22, Kayla Carmichael, and it'll be an icing call against the Lightning with 2:24 left to go in the opening stanza. Twos light up the scoreboard for both sides. Offensive zone face-off won by the Wildcats. A shot from Molly Gunther, sticked aside by Farrell. Wildcats get it back. Emily Sheehan, wrist shot, pad save made, rebound chance from Mueller, and it's snatched away by Farrell, and she'll elect for a face-off with 2:10 to go in the opening period. Deadlocked at 2. Mueller wins it back to Sheehan at the left side of the line. Tries to cross it to the right circle to Diffley. And here comes Lakeshore back the other way. Good job from Sheehan as Kate Golden tried to split the defenders. Broken up by the Wildcats, and they'll work it through center. Here comes Molly Gunther, gets across the red line. She'll dump it on into the far corner and go for a change. And that is not the horn for the intermission. There is 1:40 left on the clock. Okay. I knew we were getting close to the end of the first period, but I didn't think we were that close. Just a scoreboard malfunction. We'll pretend that didn't happen. 1:40 left in the first period. We'll just say their puck went out of play. We'll leave it at that. So 1 minute and 40 seconds left in the opening period here, all tied at 2. Face-off just outside of the Lakeshore blue line, won by the Wildcats. Here comes Jordan Bonk. High slot, her wrister redirects wide off the end glass. Picked up by Eileen Carey. Back for Featherston. Featherston centering feet, intercepted by Kate Golden, and back through center. Valmont will play it over to Eline. And Zoe Eline will escape pressure and now work it behind her own goal line. Back out to the near side, Eileen Carey will send it through the neutral zone. Back to retrieve it for Lakeshore is number 13, Kate Golden. Golden over to the left wing side to Cassidy Sullivan. Sullivan guides it the length of the ice, and icing call against Lakeshore with 51.8 seconds to go in period number 1. 2 goals for the Wildcats and 2 goals for the Lightning. Offensive zone face-off here for the Wildcats. Emily Mueller in the circle. She wins it back. Lane Diffley trying to get the shot to go. Scoop back up. Big shot from Mueller and a blocker save made by Farrell. Back out through center. 38 seconds left in the period. Good stick from Emily Sheehan. Diffley works it over to Gunther. Gunther back to Diffley, skating after the loose puck. Rolls back from pressure. Long range shot from Gunther, sticked aside by Farrell into the far corner. Right side of the line. Schmidt, puck caroms along the end boards. Back out to the far dot to Mueller. Wrist shot blocked down, now plays it hard into the corner. 8 seconds to go here in the first period. And one last chance. Lakeshore will clear it through center. And the horn will sound for the conclusion of the first period, as both teams will skate to the dressing room, and we'll have a clean sheet of ice when we return. 17 minutes in the books, and we're all tied at 2. We'll take a quick timeout up here, as they will on the ice, and we'll see you when we resume in the second period. And we welcome you back for period number 2, and we're all tied at 2 through 1 period of play. The Wildcats will shoot on our end, directly below us here, high and above rink side. As the Wildcats win the opening faceoff, Jordan Bonk controls behind the goal line, tries a centering feed across the crease to Eileen Carey. Instead it's picked off by Jillian Billsborough. Billsborough to the forehand and went just wide. What a great move from number 8 in white. Dragged it from the backhand to the forehand across the blue paint and sent it just wide. Billsborough with a goal tonight, as well as Margot Moeller. Those are the 2 goal scorers for the Lakeshore Lightning. It's Rachel Gauthier and Lily Velmont. Velmont's goal came on the power play for the Wildcats. Emily Sheehan back behind the cage. She'll send it to the near side to Molly Gunther. Gunther will leave this one for Velmont. Quickly worked up, a 2-on-1 if they hurry. Here comes Mueller. Mueller to the backhand, over to Diffley, save made, it's trickling just on the goal line. And Mara Farrell, a nice job to keep it out of the cage. An offensive zone draw here for the Wildcats, 1:09 gone by in the middle stanza. Face-off below us here, Mueller to take it for the Wildcats. Sydney Bartlett for the Lightning. Mueller wins it back to the left point to Velmont. Velmont over to the far side to Gunther. Gunther plays it to Mueller. Now to the right point to Eline. Eline indirect pass. Puck will carry him along the kick plate behind the cage. Molly Gunther racing after it for the loose puck. And it's wedged out to the neutral zone by Sydney Bartlett. Lily Velmont, the first one back for the Wildcats, plays it up the near side wall to Gunther. And it's banked back out to the neutral zone. Lightning dump it on in, on target, so it's sticked aside by Stommel. Picked up by Eline. Lakeshore able to gather the puck, swept aside in front of the cage by Velmont. And now it's flocked up by Eline. She'll skate it through center. Gets across the red line and will smartly dump it on into the near corner and go for a change. Lakeshore looks to work out of their own end. Pass turned over. Picked off by DeLuca. It's knocked out through center. Settled down in the neutral zone by a Latterman. Gauthier dumps it on in. Hard on the forecheck. Here's Sizlak. Sizlak and DeLuca on the forecheck. And a pass from Bartlett out of the reach of the intended player, and an icing call against Lakeshore. 14:27 to go in the middle frame. All tied at 2. See Mallory DeLuca take the face-off for the Wildcats. Charlie Raddick for the Lightning. One by DeLuca to the right point to Schmidt. She'll roll it along the back wall. On the forecheck is Sizlak. Coming in for support is Gauthier, who has a goal here tonight. Lakeshore takes over. Can't get it out of their defensive end, however. Back to retrieve it is Moeller. Moeller, who started the scoring just a couple minutes into the contest tonight. As Latterman sends it to Sizlak. Her shot ricochets wide. Now a battle ensues on the near side boards. Out to the right point. Schmidt's wrist shot sent wide. Featherston in on the forecheck. Nice job by Charlotte Featherston. It's Moeller who takes over through center. Here's Margot Moeller. Down below the goal line. Wildcats trying to come up with the loose puck. As it's Eileen Carey up to the near boards to Jordan Bonk. Bonk loses it for a second, then gets it back over to Carey. Carey up to Bonk. Bonk 1-on-3. Will wedge this one on target. Off the stick of Farrell, and she'll hold on for a face-off with 13:04 to go in the second period, all tied at 2. Wildcats 14 shots, the Lightning with just 8. Face-off won back by Lakeshore. Puck skims out to the near side. Eline comes down for the pinch. Keeps it alive in the offensive ends. Eline sends it up to Gunther. Her shot rings off the iron off the near post. Good play from Eline and Gunther. As Diffley now trying to center it to Gunther. It's broken up and back through center ice. Across the blue line, Jillian Billsborough. Delayed offside call, so they'll touch up. Allows the Wildcats some time and space. Diffley, great feed over to Molly Gunther. Here comes Molly Gunther down the right side. Wrist shot, just a little bit off target. Kept in the offensive end by Diffley and Mueller. Diffley pulls back on her backhand. Up to the left point to Valmont. Walks the line, wrist shot. Won't make its way to the net. Blocked down by Moeller in front. Wildcats keep it in the offensive end. As Schmidt in on the forecheck. Valmont pinches from the left point and keeps it alive. Valmont working on the far side, half boards. And now it's picked up by Bonk. Jordan Bonk skates behind the goal line. Peels away from pressure. Sends it behind the goal line to Featherston. Charlotte Featherston. And now back out through center, controlled by Allison Kellner. Kellner backhanded the high slot, stick down by Schmidt. And now Bonk will play it up the right wing side. Kellner gets it back and will sweep it on into the far corner. And Lakeshore in a change. Calling for the puck is Eileen Carey. Carey smartly up to Featherston, trying to locate it in her skates. Gets it back to Carey. Carey, wrist shot off the mask of Farrell and knocked back out to the neutral zone. 10:53 to go here in the second period. A 2-2 hockey game and an icing call against the Wildcats. Face-off to come back in the Wildcats' end. Mallory DeLuca will take the draw. Wins it to the near board to Sheehan. Sheehan looks to clear. Kept alive at the left point. Sheehan gets it back behind her own goal line. Trying to guide it up the right wing side to Rachel Gauthier. Instead it skitters back into the Lakeshore end. Swept on deep by Gauthier. In on the forecheck, Justine Sizlak. Sizlak gets it back, top of the left circle. Wrist shot fought off by the left leg of Farrell. Rebound was there. Farrell kicked it aside. Shot from the left point from Latterman. Blocked down. Sheehan gets it back right point. Wrister off the paddle and off the left leg of Farrell into the near corner. Looking to clear with Carmichael. Instead, it's Diffley who controls for the Wildcats. Diffley for Eline. Back to Diffley. Puck loose in the feet. Eline sweeps it aside. Kept alive by Sheehan. And now it's Valmont walking the line. Puck just over the blue line. She'll dump it on in. Wildcats have to touch up. Instead, it's an offside call. With 9:31 to go in the second stanza, all tied at 2. Still looking for our first goal of the second period after 4 in the first. 17-8 shots in favor of the Wildcats. Face-off one just outside of the Lakeshore blue line, with the Lightning get it back. Diffley trying to force the turnover. Eline does a nice job to body Kate Golden off the puck and plays it back into her own ends. Quick pass up to the right side to Gunther, who gains the center ed and will roll it along the end plate. Out to the far corner. Eline sweeps it back in. Stick down. And the Lightning will look for a clear. Right in front of the scorer's table, Featherston tries to knock it free. Now Bonk able to wedge it forward, but a delayed offside call. Bonk across the blue line. And it'll be an icing call here against the Lightning with 8:37 to go in the second period. Deadlocked at 2. Mentioned Margot Moeller and Jillian Billsborough, the goal scorers here for the Lightning. Rachel Gauthier and Lily Velmont for the Wildcats. Velmont's goal coming on a power play. Featherston wins the face-off to the far side, half boards. Puck battle ensues, just about 6 feet off the half wall on the boards. And puck squirts free. It's Carey out to the point to Schmidt. Her wrist shot off the crossbar, rebound, they score! Eileen Carey makes it a 3-2 lead for the Wildcats with 8:16 to go in the second period. And what a shot from the right point. As we watch it on the replay there, Julia Schmidt, crossbar and down. And Carey bangs home the loose change, 3-2 lead for the Wildcats. Restart at center ice. Won by the Wildcats. Julia Schmidt plays it the length of the ice. And it just hits the back wall on an icing call against the Wildcats.
USM goal, number 11, Eileen Carey, from number 2, Julian Schmidt. USM goal, Carey from Schmidt.
Defensive zone face-off here for the Wildcats is won back by Emily Mueller. Sheehan over to the left wing wall to Diffley. Diffley's pass intercepted by number 37. Ellie Fisher swept into the far corner. And now Diffley recollects for the Wildcats. Tries to work her way around the defender. Instead it's Zoe Eline who will settle things down behind the goal line. Escapes to the far side, out to Diffley. Eline now across the red line. She'll dump it on in behind the goal line and go for a change. Lane Diffley, far side half boards, plays it off the back wall. Gunther collects, dodging pressure. Out to the left point to Emily Sheehan. Sheehan shot wide into the back corner. Kept in the zone by Valmont. Here's Gunther. Shot block, gets it back. Waffle board save from Farrell. And the Lightning will bank it out to the neutral zone. Shots in favor of the Wildcats, 19-18. Or 19-8, beg my pardon. They lead it 3-2 with 6:38 to go in the middle period. Lane Diffley behind her own blue line, trying to center it to Jordan Bonk. Now it's dropped back for Charlotte Featherston. Featherston and Bonk in on the forecheck. Knocked aside by the Lightning. Good defensive play there from Julia Schmidt. Lightning regain possession. Played to the far boards by Beatrice Latterman. And here goes Charlotte Featherston. Winds up in her own ends. Sends it over to Latterman. 23 in Navy sends it up to the scorer's table to Jordan Bonk. And now Featherston frees it up. And she'll play it off the back wall. Go for a change. Carey in on the forecheck, the most recent goal scorer. Eileen Carey out to the left point, over to the right to Eline. Her shot redirected wide, just off the far side of the crease as Bonk was providing the screen. And out the left point, it's Sheehan. Her shot ricochets wide, caught the stick of the Lakeshore defender. Eline skates in from the right point. Now kicks it along the kick plate. Leaves it back for DeLuca, who skates after the loose puck. Played back behind the goal line. Up to the near side wall. Gauthier spins it back in. Now it'll be Gauthier racing over from the far side on the forecheck. Nicely done, and she'll backhand it behind the end line. Gauthier and DeLuca in on the forecheck. Out to the left point to Emily Sheehan. Over to the right side of the line to Latterman. Her shot blocked down. She's able to wedge it into the near corner, and the puck will reverse to the far side. Just above the left circle. Picked off by Sizlak. Across the attacking line, here come the Lightning. A shot from number 15, Joelle Erickson. And it's tied up behind the end line. And a delayed penalty call here is going to be against the Lightning. It was Emily Mueller who drew the penalty. She was tripped up on the play by Fisher. Man, the Wildcats will head on the power play. One power play goal already this evening, as they'll try to increase their lead to 2. Diffley will take the draw for the Wildcats, out with Molly Gunther, Mallory DeLuca, Emily Mueller, and Zoe Eline. Here's Mueller, top of the line, walking down, wrist shot sent just wide off the back wall. And able to get the clear was number 13 for Lakeshore, Kate Golden. Hard on the forecheck was number 54, Cassidy Sullivan. And Eline will advance the puck through center. Eline peels away from pressure, drops it back for Mueller. Mueller walking, wrist shot, redirected high off the back glass. Molly Gunther up to the point to Emily Mueller, walks the line. Over to the right side is Zoe Eline. Shot, save made by Farrell. The net's off its moorings. And another save made by Farrell. She'll hold on for a face-off. 61 seconds left in the power play for the Wildcats. 3:27 to go in the second period. It's a 3-2 lead for the Wildcats. Featherston wins the face-off, gets a shot off, sent just wide off the backboards. And now it's played up by Valmont, who came in to pinch. Valmont will go to the top of the crease, left point, Bonk. Walks the line, over to her right to Featherston. Wrist shot, redirected, up into the protected netting, off the stick. Kayla Carmichael, the defenseman for the Lightning. And the face-off will stay in the Lakeshore ends. Featherston wins it. Carry out to the left point to Bonk. Bonk walks the line. Walking, wrist shot, save made by Farrell, kicked aside. 31 seconds to go in the power play. Carry out to Bonk, and it hops over her stick. She'll settle it down in the neutral zone. Bonk over to Eileen Carey across the attacking line, left wing side. Drops it back for Bonk. Walks the line once again. Over to Featherston, right circle. Wrist shot into the shin guards of Carmichael. And she'll get the clear. 2:30 to go here in the middle period. 3-2 lead for the Wildcats. Power play will expire. Tap down in the neutral zone. Turned over, picked up by Featherston. And she'll backhand this one into the near corner. It bounces off the kick plate. Back behind the cage. Over to the far corner. Good stick from Emily Mueller. Back out through center. Julia Schmidt gets across the red line. She'll lug it on in. Takes it for a skate behind the cage. Out to the far side to Lane Diffley on the half boards. Diffley out to the left point to Latterman. Over to the right side of the line to Molly Gunther. Schmidt shot wide from the right point. Diffley in on the forecheck. Gunther will come in for some support. She scoops it up with it on the backhand. Over to Schmidt, right side of the line. Wrist shot sent just wide. 90 seconds to go here in the second frame. 3-2 lead for the Wildcats. Diffley over to the far side corner to Mueller. Mueller trying to wedge this puck free, kicks it, and now she's got it. Wraparound chance sent wide. She draws a hooking penalty, delayed call against Lakeshore. And just like that, back-to-back power plays for the Wildcats. As Mueller able to draw the penalty, it'll be 2 minutes hooking. Against Billsboro. 1:09 to go here in the second stanza. 3-2 lead for the Wildcats. Shots in favor, 21-8. Face-off won by Featherson. Out to the left point to Bonk. Walks the line. Over to Sheehan, right dot. Her wrister, shot in the goal. Looked like it got redirected in front by Valmont. Lucia leads the way down the bench. And it will be Valmont, her second power play goal of the evening. The lead increased to 2. Sheehan with the initial shot. Valmont providing the screen. And with 61 seconds left in the second period, it only took 8 seconds on the power play for the power play goal.
Lakeshore Lake penalty, number 10, Sadie Barr, 2 minutes hooking. Number 10, 2 minutes hooking. USM goal, number 16, Lily Valmont, assisted by number 20, Eileen Sheehan. USM goal.
Valmont from Sheehan, and here goes Eileen Carey through center over to Bonk across the blue line, and just a tad offside for the Wildcats. Face-off will come just outside of the Lakeshore blue line. Emily Mueller will take it. She drew the penalty that led to the power play goal, and here's a chance here for the Lightning. Shot, save made by Stommel. That shot came from Billsboro. With 27.3 left in the second, defensive zone draw here for the Wildcats. Mueller wins it back behind her own goal line. Now a wraparound chance, centered to the high slot, now to the point. Big save made by Stommel. Number 97, Lauren McCormick, providing the shot from the left point. And now it's flocked up behind her own goal line is Mueller. Over to Lane Diffley. Diffley will flop it through to center. 4 seconds to go. Icing call with 2 seconds to go. One last chance here with just 2 seconds on the clock. Face-off won back by the Wildcats behind the goal line. Horn will sound. 2 periods of play in the books as it's a 4-2 lead after 2 periods of play. The goal scorers in that second period: Lily Valmont, a power play goal, her second of the night, and Eileen Carey, the other goal in the second period. And we'll take a quick pause in the action and be just back in a moment. welcome you back for the third and final period here tonight as the Wildcats have a 4-2 lead through 2 periods of play. And will now skate left to right as they win the opening face-off. Back in the offensive end, it squirts free to the neutral zone. Bonk will play it over the near side to Caroline Bay. Bonk up to Sheehan. No one in front of her. So it's gathered up by Moeller. Bonk back to gather it up in her own defensive end. Shakes her way free to the near side boards. Across the red line, now across the attacking line. Nice move. On a backhand, plays it off the side of the cage. Looked like it hit the toe of the netminder Farrell. Out to the top of the point. Shot from Sheehan, stick to side. And kept in the offensive end. Featherston will roll it along the end boards. Valmont from the bench pinches on in and will backhand this one, but it finds its way to the neutral zone. Collision at center ice as Mueller and Valmont ran into each other. Both skaters back up on their feet. And now carrying it through center is Moeller. Taken over by Emily Mueller behind her own cage. She'll rally it up and skate out to the far side. Mueller up to Lane Diffley. Diffley through the center ice logo. Out to the left side to Mueller, who gets across center red. And we'll dump it off the backboards. Turned over. Shot from Diffley. Sent aside by Farrell. Played back behind the goal line. Bonk out up front with Diffley and Featherston. Diffley at the end of a change as it's Carey who enters the ice. Latterman and Schmidt patrol the blue line. Carey takes over below the right circle. Great feed to Bonk. Bonk shot redirected up into the protective netting. Our first stoppage of play in the third period comes 2 minutes and 9 seconds in. The Wildcats leading the Lightning 4-2. Valmont with 2 power play goals. Gauthier and Carey, the other goal scorers for the Wildcats. It's Moeller and Billsborough for the Lightning. Schmidt will rally it up behind her own goal line. Pass is knocked down by McCormick at the left point. McCormick walks the line, sends it deep into the near corner as Kellner collides with Latterman. And now Latterman sets it up in front of her own net and lays it back into the offensive end. Won't trickle behind the goal line, so no icing called. Back out through center. Stick down by Madison Wagner. Picked off by DeLuca at the blue line. Her shot zips wide. And pinching down from the left side of the line is Sheehan. It's back through center. Good stick there from Wagner. Through the middle of the ice is Billsborough, taken over by Gauthier. Here's Gauthier, right circle, pulls it to the right dot. Rallying behind the cage. Here goes Margot Moeller, who has a goal here tonight. Dragged down by Sheehan. Now across the blue line, and they'll be well offside with 13:11 to go in the third period. A 4-2 lead for the Wildcats, shots in favor of the team in Navy, 4-2. Face off, one back to E-line. She plays it up the near wall. Now back over to Valmont. Valmont indirect pass off the far side boards. Smacked into the zone by Molly Gunther. Lane Diffley, first one in on the forecheck. Now Zoe Uline. Back through center. Kellner's pass intended for Scott, out of reach. Back on it is Mueller. Sends it over to the far side to Molly Gunther. Gunther drops it back for Valmont. Now Valmont, intended for Uline, picked off by Stella Scott. Regaining possession is the Wildcats. Emily Mueller racing through center. 2-on-2 over the left side. Mueller shielding it away on her forehand. Skates it out to the far side half boards. And now leaves it for Diffley. Diffley tied up along the back wall. And now out to the right point to Julia Schmidt. Nicely done to keep it in with her left skate. Now back behind the goal line. 11:58 to go here in the third period. 4-2 lead for the Wildcats. In on the forecheck is Rachel Gauthier. And now Schmidt trying to keep it alive at the right side of the point. Banked out through center and regathered by Lakeshore. Good defensive effort from Schmidt. And now played up the near side boards. Schmidt sends it off the back wall. Came out to the paddle of Stummel. And she'll leave it for Latterman. Latterman over to Schmidt. Schmidt, pass intended for Armbruster. And it's back out through center as Lakeshore looks to push the pace in transition. Eileen Sheehan over to Jordan Bonk, who will wind it up behind her own cage. Bonk takes it off the stick of Billsborough. Now Bonk from her knees over to Carey. Delayed penalty call against Lakeshore. Shot from Carey into the shin guards of Moeller. Featherston gets it back. Extra attacker on. Delayed penalty against Lakeshore. Bonk, 1-on-2. Lakeshore can't touch. Now they finally will. And it'll be a 2-minute tripping call against Ellie Fisher with 10:31 to go in the third period. A 4-2 lead for the Wildcats, who already have 2 power play goals, as you see Lily Valmont skate onto the ice. She has both of those power play goals here tonight. Face-off won by Featherston. Out to Bonk. Bonk delivers it over to the left circle to Featherston. Her shot blocked away by the shins of Carmichael. Delayed penalty, and it's going to go against the Wildcats. I believe 2 minutes for hooking, as Charlotte Featherston will get the gate. Will skate 4 aside for 1 minute and 48 seconds. Emily Mueller takes the draw for the Wildcats, who wins it back to Zoe Uline. Uline across the attacking line, and the Wildcats go offside. .10 to go here in the third period. A 4-2 lead for the Wildcats. We skate 4 aside. Face off just outside of the blue line. Now it's Kellner who will shake it into the offensive end. Kellner behind the goal line. Takes it for a skate. Turnaround shot sent just wide. Puck will skim over to the near side. And here comes Emily Mueller across the blue line. Lakeshore looks to work it out of their own ends. And now it's Bonk. Bonk will kick it free. Back to Eline. 4-on-4 hockey for another 44 seconds. Then if you even want to call it, a 12-second power play for Lakeshore. Eileen Carey hard on the forecheck. McCormick winds up for Lakeshore. Knocked off her stick by Bonk, who has Carey all alone in the high slot. With it on her forehand. Shot save made by the left leg of Mara Farrell. Great feed from Bonk, and now she gets it back to Carey. Carey, far side half boards. One chance, two chance, and a save after save made by Mara Farrell to keep this a 2-goal hockey game with 8:45 to go in the final period. 25-9. The shots in favor of the Wildcats, clinging to that 4-2 advantage. Right point. It's Madison Wagner who will get the puck back from Lane Diffley. Bobbling puck, and Wagner will go back to center to calm it down. Schmidt, indirect pass right in front of the scorer's table over to Emily Mueller, who will send it on deep. 5-on-4 for just about 3 more seconds for Lakeshore, as Diffley will eat away the clock from behind the goal line. Pass intended for Mueller, picked off. Nice job by Wagner to keep it in the offensive end. Finally broken out to center by Kate Golden. And now jamming at it is Molly Gunther in front of the Wildcats bench. And the puck will roll on deep into the near corner. McCormick trying to peel away from pressure of Molly Gunther. Top of the point, Valmont. Her shot ricochets wide. McCormick throws it up the near side. Over to Billsborough, who has a goal here tonight. Just looking to cut the deficit down to 1. Forehand shot. Good block from Valmont. Over to the right point, Moeller. Stick save made by Stommel. Loose puck played at. Swung back behind the Wildcats goal line. Molly Gunther will raise the puck the length of the ice. Trickling. And no icing call with 7:13 to go. We continue on here. 4-2 lead for the Wildcats. Bonk walks the line. Tries to pull it in between the legs. Has to retrieve back in the neutral zone. Dodges pressure. Leaves it for Eileen Sheehan. Puck to the near side. Sheehan keeps it in the offensive end, out to the point to Bonk. Walks the blue line. McCormick tries to guide it to the neutral zone. Blocked down, redirected just wide by Eileen Carey. Initial shot came from Eileen Sheehan. Now to Bonk, right circle. Can't get the shot to go. And Kellner back out to the neutral zone. Carey at the red line. Tries to get it deep. We'll go for a change. Stommel sticks it aside to Wagner. Wagner. Up to DeLuca. To Gauthier. Now at the blue line. DeLuca. And now it's Eline. Eline bumps it back for DeLuca. In the high slot, turning around is Gauthier, who has a goal this evening. Over to Gunther. Tries to sweep it on target with the backhand. Won't go. Eline holds the line. And Lakeshore will get across the blue line. 5:13 to go here in the third period. 4-2 lead for the Wildcats. Valmont behind her own blue line. Pass intended for Emily Mueller. Instead, it's Valmont who gets it back. Plays it off the boards. Collected by Justine Sizlak. And poking it free was Mueller right in front of the scorer's table. Across the blue line. Lakeshore trailing by 2. Under 5 minutes to go. Pass out to the neutral zone. McCormick to the near side. Sticked away by Mueller. As Moeller will retrieve it. Played on into the Wildcats end. Stommel will stick it aside for Latterman. Latterman gets it past the stick of McCormick, who curls back into center ice. Through the center ice logo, now taking a spill was Fisher. And Gunther has it, backhand shot, rebound loose in front. Featherston's trying to get it to go, but down on the ice was Fisher, right in front of the crease, able to block it. Schmidt raises one high, catches the backboards. And now McCormick through center. Jordan Bonk trying to work her way across the blue line. Bonk. Now over to Carey. 3:27 to go in the third period. Wildcats lead it 4-2. Wagner shot off target. And now sticked away through center by Sheehan. Bonk has to retrieve it back in her own end. Stutter steps one defender through the center to Featherston. Over to Carey. Carey with it on her off wing. Carries down the right wing side. Picked up by Lakeshore. And the Lightning will go through center. Featherston up to Carey. Carey will backhand this one into the far corner. 2:45 to go here in the final period. Wagner back to retrieve it just inside her own end. Collecting at the far circle above the dot. Wagner gets it back. Now with it on her backhand. Plays it up the near side. Boards to Rachel Gauthier. Stick down by Wagner. Tries a pass over to the right wing side. To Armbruster. Armbruster squeezing it free to DeLuca. Armbruster will now backhand this one. Puck battle ensues at the red dasher on the far side, red line. And now sticked into the Wildcat end by Chirella. Chirella gets it back. Backhand shot, sticked aside by Stommel. 1:51 to go here in the third period. 4-2 lead for the Wildcats. Kellner holds the blue line. We'll keep an eye on the goaltender all the way down to our left, and Farrell. Good block from Elise Sheehan. Will gain the red line now, played up into the face mask of the defenseman number 13, Kate Golden. And Golden over to the near side. Golden works her way to the neutral zone. And Valmont. Red line, sticked off. 70 seconds to go. Eline winds up in her own end. Gets it out through center. And now Gunther will hammer it back behind the goal line. Picked up by Moeller, under a minute to go here. 4-2 lead for the Wildcats. Delayed offside call, and they'll touch up. Partial line change. Lugging it through center is Billsborough. Billsborough, long range shot. Save made and held on by Stommel with exactly 36 seconds to go in the final period. 4-2 lead for the Wildcats. Puck down. And Bonk will now play it for the Wildcats. 2-on-1 if they hurry. Bonk has it knocked off her stick by Moeller. And smacking it on into the offensive end was Latterman. And a whistle and a stoppage of play was 16.9 to go in the third period. 4-2 lead for the Wildcats. Wildcats win the draw. They'll smack it on into the offensive end. Under 10 seconds to go now. And the Wildcats will take home the victory, or I should say we'll keep it right here at home with a 4-2 victory over the Lakeshore Lightning tonight. Before we send you on your way, the 4 goal scorers here this evening: Rachel Gauthier, Eileen Carey, each with a goal, and Lily Velmont with 2 power play goals. Sammy Stommel gets the win in net. The final shots here tonight, 26-14 in favor of the Wildcats. And that will do it here tonight inside Eline Ice Arena. High above ringside, Cam McGuire sending you off. Have a great evening, everyone, and we'll see you next time. Once again, 4 Wildcats, 2 Lightning. So long, and have a great evening.